The You're Still Here podcast is proudly brought to you by Dolby Surround Sound. Can you name another surround sound? No, that's probably why you never see a Dolby commercial. You couldn't tell me anything about Dolby other than it's involved with every movie. You see that little logo in the corner of those like reverse boomerang things? That's Dolby Surround Sound. And you'll never need another sponsorship reading because you don't have another choice. It's Dolby and maybe Bose.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe Bose is coming out with some surround sound.
Dolby Digital.
They're on the side of those NFL games. They're on the sidelines. Oh, yeah. And they tried introducing the, I forget which Google Android. Remember when Belichick launched not the iPad, the Android device?
Yes.
And then they just called it iPads after the game, which is the polar opposite of what the intention was. Because think about the Google, what the hell was the name of it? If you're the Google tablet, guess it's not doing too well if I can't even remember the name of it. Well, they tried, all right, let's push hard. Let's get on the NFL sidelines. And then after the game, Belichick refers to it as an iPad, which is the polar opposite of what that company would want. That's like Colgate paying for something and then saying like a damn crest. It's the exact opposite of what they dumped their whole thing to get on the sidelines, just like those Bose headphones.
Not
anyway,
a good advertisement. I
imagine Bose is maybe the next up, but until then, it's Dolby.
Dolby Digital.
A quick funny story. This is 1,000% true. I promise you. At my job, there was a period where what I was tasked with doing, that it was streaming baseball games on an airplane, and that partnership ended. So I didn't have a job and they were going to get rid of me unless they could find something for me to do. And for 2 months, I QC'd items in HBO's catalog. So I would sit in a room and check things like, captions and making sure that the right things were there. And basically sometimes just watching something, let us know if there are any issues. It's a boring but cool job if you happen to get good stuff. Like I remember I QC'd a whole season of Game of Thrones.
What is this? Give me QC.
Quality control.
Quality control. Yeah. Okay.
And you're
I'd like
just
to be
watching.
a QC of life.
So I preferred always with, when I was pursuing acting and everything, you have to try to keep your days free at any cost for auditions because they come on short notice and you can't say no. If you are working with someone, they say, hey, we got an audition for you.
Hey,
3
pizza
o'clock.
guy just dropped out. We need you to come by.
Don't forget. That's exactly what happened on Modern Family. And that's why I was delivering pies to Ty Burrell because they needed an Italian on the West Coast with flowing hair, and they called me. And I actually forgot to return the shirt that they gave me. So I ended up having that shirt for months, and I ended up giving it back when I worked as a stand-in on How I Met Your Mother one day because they shoot on the same lot, 20th Century Fox.
I would have kept it.
So I really could have. I just did it. I just kind of used it.
What was the name of the pizzeria? I can't remember.
No, but it wasn't like that because it was just a red. It was a red, exactly what you'd think somebody from Domino's would have if they dressed nicer, like a red polo shirt.
Okay.
If I'm in the mood and you're watching this on YouTube, I'll get you that.
There you are, my good man. Squire.
It was the.
You left your days open for.
Okay. Yes. So I QC'd. I QC'd. Until another job opened up, because I obviously didn't want to do that. But my company, they liked me there, and they didn't want to get rid of me, so they just gave me whatever they could. So I QC'd this stuff. And sometimes, because I worked that night shift, they would ask me to QC the Dolby versions of the feed. So everything that you watch, everything that you stream on your phone, it comes across in many different bit rates, meaning like, I know this sounds boring, but if you're watching HBO on your phone, it's an HD version. You ever notice when you're in like a tunnel or something, you don't have as good service? It starts to look grainy.
Because I'm under the ocean.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually fully cut out. It's because they send out many different versions of it. Well, one of the versions is a Dolby surround sound version that's compatible with the Monopoly and Dolby. And this is all content. So late at night, when pretty much everyone was out of the office, I had to QC HBO softcore porn to make sure it was all right. Now, I really don't have too much of a problem with this. The issue was when the cleaning lady was outside the
You're
door.
Just a dirty perv
and
after
she's
hours.
Hearing Dolby surround sound softcore porn.
Where is that clear porn sound coming from?
The crystal, are they doing that?
No,
there?
I'm working.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, I opened the door because it was.
I'm sure she's seen some shit.
And I open the door and I come out and I feel like they are looking, who was in there? Who's that guy?
God.
So yeah, I QC'd some softcore porn, and that's we had to make sure it was Dolby. It was Dolby compatible, and it worked on the surround sound speakers. Yeah.
I could hear her coming a mile away.
So that was something that kind of happened, and I tell you about that when I went to Century City to do the episode of How I Met Your Mother and return the shirt at the other show there, Modern Family. And the reason there wasn't an episode last week is because on my vacation, the vacation that I mentioned, I went out to the West Coast. I went to the old stomping grounds in LA, and then I went up to Malibu. And let me tell you something. I don't want to sound gimmicky. I don't want to sound like somebody, I just went out for a week. I went on vacation and now I got that content. I never wanted to feel like one of those people. I hate when people ask me, so like when you go out, are you like writing things down? Are you always, no, I'm not. But
it's just the way my brain works. I'm a weirdo and I'm always looking at things.
On vacation, these things were just piling up. You see those commercials on TV, back to school summer sale. Well, I got your back to school summer scams. I have 4, 5, potentially 6 of them. And that is what one vacation brought me. I don't know. You judge for yourself if I'm trying to dig for content or if you may have dealt with similar things.
Brought back a little past. Malibu juice with you.
Yeah, I got back. I mean, look, I can
probably
go on
a little sand too.
Yeah. Yes, sand is one of those things. You get a little in your shoe, you think nothing of it. That comes back with you to New York. It's like bringing a disease. You can't get it out of the crevice. It's like stepping in dog. You think your shoe is clean, but it's fully marked. I would rather put the stuff in Ziploc, the whole outfit, and throw it in the garbage and leave it.
Yes, leave the whole thing out there.
What were you saying? Sand was like, you had mentioned.
Oh, it's like confetti.
Yeah, when you come home
you're gonna come home, open the bag, take out that one sock. It's got it all in there, and boof.
And then if there's any on your sheets,
you'll be finding it for the next year.
If there are any on your sheets, if you, it's that feeling. We've ripped on sand and beaches for months on end, but I will tell you, going out to those beaches in Malibu, that's a whole separate experience. Malibu, it has one of life's mysteries, like the 7 wonders of the world. It's one of the places I thought, because I lived there for years, I remember like, oh, dude, it is the most comfortable weather, no humidity. But after being in Florida for this past year, I have a whole new appreciation. Somehow we went to the beach and people were in board shorts getting a tan. And at the same time, I was wearing pants on a hike and I wasn't sweating and they weren't cold. It's a magic temperature and there's no bugs.
Heaven.
If you have enough money, I see why many people
problem.
If
you have the money.
You pay for what you get, though. I mean, if they have no mosquitoes, beautiful views,
God.
no humidity, it's August and it was 79,
I'd
not
say I'll give
97.
them something, but I'm broke, so I don't know what.
Yes, and you're not the only one.
How's the homeless in Malibu there? Could I join them?
It was funny. We saw on the way back from dinner one night, we saw one homeless guy sleeping on a
unhoused.
bench.
I'm sorry. They just
we saw one bum. If you go one way, I'll go the other way. We saw one bum on a bench. And I said, hey, I got to give this guy credit. He picked the right spot.
Yeah.
This guy got the Malibu bench.
Must be a nice guy. Nobody's bothering him.
Yeah, he might be. Remember we had the Burger King bum growing up? Just the one bum. Nobody entered on his Burger King grounds. And I think the Malibu guy, I don't know, maybe he's been there. He's grandfathered into the system like NHL players who don't have to wear visors or something like that. But yeah, money, you need money over there. And I met up with one of my old friends who's in real estate. He goes, the funny thing about living in Southern California, if you're one of those people who says like, oh no, I'm going to do bigger and better, but you don't want to try to do that in Southern California. There's always someone bigger. People from all over the world are going there to be the bigger and better version. You're literally talking about Beverly Hills 90210, which I went to.
They want to hang out with the celebs.
We went to Beverly Hills quickly. Joe's Pizza from New York, right in the middle, right off to the side of Rodeo Drive, and it was crowded.
Did you stop? Of course it was crowded. Anybody that puts up New York pizza out there, people go
but
crazy.
There's people who
It's the people like us who go in there and try it and then get pissed off.
I didn't because I said I don't want to be one of the guys who travels 3,000 miles to have the thing that was down the block from me. I lived in Williamsburg.
No, see, I would have to have it. I'd have to have it because I want to know if it tastes the same. I would have had it there, and then if I were you, I would have came home, gotten my car.
You know what they say? It's the water that does it. We are here to give you guys good stuff every once in a while. We'd mentioned these last couple of weeks, if you're some person, you have a family, you even have a girlfriend, and you can't go online a lot. It's like you're stepping outside the time machine that I told you about. In H.G. Wells' time machine, worlds are going by if you just take a couple weeks off. So we're trying to keep you in line with all the good stuff. Speaking of which, by the way, before we get back to that good stuff, we rented, as you can see up there on the TV, I rented a DeLorean bucket list item from Back to the Future, and we had this in Malibu. But speaking of that time machine and missing out on stuff, Papa Giorgio sent me an account. Do you know the name of the account?
Oh, God. I'll have to look at it. You're talking about the Idaho?
It's dad jokes, but played out in skits, and let me give you a little bit of advice on stuff. You want to know what makes everything better? A build-up. There's a dad joke, and it's like a mom, a son, and the father.
Yep.
They build these dad jokes via a sketch. And I will play one for you, but it depicts how a dad will
slow-mo.
Oh, and the dad comes in with slow motion.
Our favorite, talking about the humidity.
Yeah. You know we're not big summer guys, and a mom and the son are talking about it being hot outside. Oh, it's gonna be like 90 something today, and then almost like this Bigfoot music. You see a father's eyes opening in the bedroom, and then he's stomping his way out. It's almost Jaws-esque in the buildup. And then with a deepened voice, you hear, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. It is so freaking funny. And how great is it that we don't even know the account to shout out?
I'm terrible at that.
Hopefully it's on the screen. And if you are a listener of this podcast as you're on long drives, always remember that it's on YouTube to check out. So maybe after listening, scroll back to the part, you will see the video because I'll find it,
watch it,
put it on there. Great account. So as I'm in the DeLorean, I pull into this hotel. I'm not a frequent I'm a once a year max vacationer. That's an infrequent vacationer. And these people who work at hotels, they're like Peyton Manning behind the line of scrimmage. They know frequent vacationers and they know infrequent vacationers. They can smell it. Oh, this guy hasn't been on vacation in years. He's willing. In his mind, he's like, you know what? I'm on vacation. I'm going to splurge. They know, they see that, like a guy in jail, a guy who's on a life sentence, and they see that first time jail guy coming in. That's who I was walking into this hotel. They knew. I mean, I could try my best like Johnny Depp in Blow. You know, bam, Betty, bam, bam, when he's trying to he goes, think of good thoughts. Think you got me thinking good thoughts going into that hotel.
I'm thinking about it. You know how hard you got to try not to look like a infrequent vacationer pulling up in Malibu to a nice hotel in a DeLorean?
Oh, they go. We got a one time. He's rolling all the vacations.
Did this guy just pull up in a 1985 DeLorean?
Oh man, yeah, they knew it. They knew it. So I check in. They hit you with fees. I know this is a known thing. We're gonna get into more unknown things. They hit me with fees. There's a resort fee, $40 a day. I think that just means I showed up. It means I showed up to this vacation. I feel like if I'm like, hey, what's that? Well, yeah, you booked the room, but then when you show up, now you're actually using the room. That's a $40 resort fee. And then what happens if you don't show up?
Don't show up. We're going to bang you out over that, too.
Yeah, that's a no-show fee. So if you don't show up, it's an extra $100. If
you do showed up, we'll charge you a little less.
It's fees up the ass. And I'm not going to call this one of the many scams of the week because I surmise, this is a theory as of right now. But if I do some digging, I'll get to the bottom of it. I believe that they want you to charge things to the room. They're always eager to say, okay, what room are you? You want me to put that on the room? I think that there are extra fees affiliated with charging things to the room. The same way there's resort fee, convenience fee on Ticketmaster, processing fee, all that stuff. Whatever these fake words that really mean nothing. I think they add an additional fee to every last item that you charge to the room.
Well, they just you went down. I mean, I know me. I've done this a bunch. You go down, maybe you smoke a little. You come up and you're like, I want to get some cookies or something before I go up. They charge you there. That's a process. I forgot to get a drink. I got nothing. I'm dying, cotton mouth. I go downstairs, get a drink. That's two processes right there.
And that's if you go down and get the drink. We already know how expensive the drink in the room is.
Gatorade coming up to the room?
Well, no, even if you grab from the kitchen bar, a water in the kitchen bar, it's more expensive than Yankee Stadium.
I was going to say, it's like going to the ballpark.
Probably more expensive. So even if you go downstairs, charged. I made sure. No. I got my card right here. Why don't you run it? I don't care. I don't like that feeling of getting got. And I did. I was a infrequent vacationer. There were many things I was like, don't worry. We got the massage in room. At least I'm paying for something. You want to upcharge me?
Wow, this is some vacation.
Oh, this was the vacation
room.
True story.
Fresh.
True story. I gifted my massage. I was having a cranky
day.
You're
not a massage guy?
No, all right, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Oh boy, I hope so. Don't lie to me.
I looked at the lady, and I didn't like her potential massage by looking at it.
What?
I judged the lady's look.
She probably gave the most incredible massage. What did she look like?
The first thing she did was put on the relaxing.
I love it.
Have you ever, man, I thought we did a game where we texted each other pictures. What do you think the masseuse is going to look like? It's a pretty funny game because we're in Malibu. Who are they sending to this room?
Yeah.
I sent a picture of I don't know if she's the principal or whatever in Glee, the tall, have you ever seen the movie Role Models with Paul Rudd?
Yes.
Their parole officer, that tall woman who they're checking in with.
Yeah.
Jane.
What is her name?
But can you picture her? Mm-hmm. Well, in Glee, she always has like sweat tracks on and everything. God. So that's what I pictured. But it was more of like a 47 to 50-year-old. Like it looks like been living in Malibu a long time. Yoga. Look, I'm like, my God.
Small or larger person or?
No, skinny Malibu. You're not getting fat slobs in Malibu.
I want those big meat hooks. I want to dig into my back,
It's a different vibe. I remember even when living there, I don't know if you really will understand this, but when everybody is kind of on that same page, you just stop ordering massive portions everywhere. It's like they guilt you out of it.
I get it. Or they will start ordering my massive portions.
There was a restaurant in Los Angeles I remember going to. They had 2 portion sizes for every dish. One was called LA, one was called New York.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I didn't end up getting the massage even though I booked it. And the second thing that happens, this is now I will call this a scam.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that was.
So this was all a scam, huh?
I can't prove this one either, but I know they do.
You got to get a job at a hotel, prove these scams.
The wedding liquor. You know it's true. We don't have proof.
Got to get a job at a catering hall.
That'd be great, getting all these decoy jobs.
Reporting.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, I don't want to screw the companies and out them. I just want to know for my own
That's it.
good.
Just get a job for a week and see it and go, and then leave. I quit. Why? I got what I needed.
The aha jobs. And I think this is called the early room service scam. This is where I believe the maids, they intentionally show up for room service. They did this 2 days in a row. I went to the front desk. I said, hey, please, can you not have the cleaning people come on vacation? They came at like 8:45 in the morning. Knock, knock, knock. Housekeeping. I get it. Some people are early. If this was a normal work week and people were going to work, but this is a vacation site, end of August, huge vacation month. I believe that they go for room service early, knowing that you're not ready and that you're going to say, oh, we're not ready yet. And then later on, when they fill out their little boxes, they say, yes, we went to 7, and then they declined it. And they obscure it, saying, oh, they did go. I said, would you mind coming back between 11 and 12 or something like that? And she goes, oh, yeah. But she checked her little box that she went there. And then the next day, she tried doing it again. So the first day, no room service.
Should have answered the door naked. Said, I'm a little busy right now.
Well, that wasn't the issue. She left. It was the question of I needed her to come back. I don't think she'd feel any better coming back.
You like getting those sheets tucked in super, super tight and having to
it's not so much
peel them off?
It's not so much the
pull
sheets.
Your back out trying to...
You like being able to use the shower towel and throw it wherever you want.
No, I say to the front desk, give me 7 towels. I'm going upstairs. I'll be there for a week. Don't enter my room ever. I'm going to put the do not disturb sign out there, and if I see you in there, I'm going to be pissed. Leave it a mess. So it's fine.
You're living in there like Jeffrey Dahmer?
I'm in there.
Putting that thing?
Yeah. Shades are shut. Leave me alone.
Oh, my God. I to a certain extent, I could understand.
I don't even... What mess am I causing in there every single day?
You're right. If you live simply...
It's only the shower towel. That's all you need. Was somebody sleeping in the bed when I wasn't in there? Like, it's just me.
That's...
Gotcha.
No, yeah. I'm not gonna support you. Free cleaning is not something to get. I mean, I'm paying for all these fees. I need to feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
Well, you're supposed to tip them too.
Oh well, I would have.
Now you got to tip them again.
No, because I gave them a day off. That was the tip.
Uh-huh.
That was the tip. The full day off. However, those were some of the bad things. There were some very good things. Like I told you, the weather was unbelievably incredible. We went down to the end of the pier. We had everything farm grown, fresh grown, organic. They can just lie. Who the heck? They said the pancakes were. How are these pancakes farm grown, natural? Anyway,
everything comes from afar.
It was still gorgeous, and I'm looking in the water there, and the way I had to Google Malibu Pier shark on YouTube.
Shark attacks.
There was, and of course, there's only 2 videos. Well, since the inception of YouTube, that's enough for me. I remember casually reading stories when I lived there. Oh, a San Diego one, a Santa Monica one. That's all the same waters. So going in the beach was just out of the question. I will say that the water was gorgeous. I'm almost angry to say, come on, these are American
feet in there?
waters.
Did you feel it? Was it cold? Was it warm?
Very cold. Very cold.
Very
because
cold,
it doesn't get.
I know, because that water comes from north.
It's just like in Miami, they said the water was clocked at over 90 degrees this summer.
Yeah,
that's heat.
That
Florida-California debate. The fact that like the politics or whatever are so bad in California that it's a debate now, they have every advantage over there. Like the weather is pristine. I mean, it's perfect, which is why I can't believe I was looking down at these 17-year-old, 18-year-old surfers, and I'm like, these kids grew up here. How can they go to Eastern Illinois University? How can they go to one of these universities?
Yeah. What are you
I think maybe in their head they think, oh no, I saw College Game Day. When you're out in New York in the fall, people are wearing Canada Goose jackets. When I was in California, any sort of rain, people, it's like War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise outside. They treat it like it's the end of the world. Same type of thing with the cold. People winter jackets 60 degrees. I'm not kidding. Full winter jackets.
Too much of a good thing. They want to, remind themselves how good they got it in the boo. And
then I can only imagine when they go to some other city. Culture shock's not the right word, because like me and you going, like living in, well, not you, but me, if I had to go live in rural South Carolina, that's culture shock. Culture shock's not the right word. It's my life got downgraded massively shock. Seriously. That's what, everything is so nice.
Southern California to nice. The beautiful plains, fields of corn.
And that's why you see all those rehab centers in Malibu. They're all based there because everyone comes back. They got so depressed that
somewhere else.
And I know in that Manti Te'o documentary, he said big culture shock going to Notre Dame. You think, oh well, I'm Manti Te'o. I'm from Hawaii. I go to Notre Dame. I'm going to be a football star. No, it's cold is truly miserable. If you're living out there.
Freaking gray skies.
This is not the right time to say if you're living all in Hawaii, just all beautiful. Tough time to be in Hawaii right now. But still, post fires, I still think it might be better than a winter in Notre Dame.
For sure.
One of my biggest regrets, and I only learned it after the fact when I moved to the West Coast, was going to Boston after seeing what like San Diego State and all these other.
Oh my goodness.
And unfortunately for me, I didn't have TikTok. I couldn't see every hot blonde under the sun on RushTok and all those.
You'd rather go to a
houses.
Shittier college out there.
I would have. And I would have not gone anywhere in the godforsaken Northeast, which I don't have anything bad to say about. All funny shit comes from most funny shit comes from the Northeast. But in terms of like when you're going for college and you're looking for that Mitchapalooza vibe and you're going for Project X, you needed to be at San Diego State, Florida State, Arizona State, University of Texas, Johnny Manziel documentary, all these things. That's the life I wish I could have. But there was no RushTok like there is now. And now that we're at the end of August, it means two things. Yes, fantasy football. We got drafts coming up and the random 2-week stretch. Apparently NPCs are back in the closet because I haven't seen them. But now we got 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of a bombardment of RushTok. This is going on a couple years now.
Craziness.
And just like everything, just like pornography, just like WrestleMania, just like anything in this world, it starts with one thing and everybody's just got to keep one-upping each other. A couple years ago, it's sorority girls. You open the front door to the sorority. Hey, it's Alpha Phi Epsilon. Then the next year, a little creative. Maybe it's a party where a little someone coming by on a skateboard waving. And I think there was kind of the mannequin challenge type of thing where they had a bunch of sorority girls in a house and someone would be walking through. It was almost like a frozen moment in time in a sorority house. But now it's just been taken to it's full on productions. Half the productions you see on TV, we always talk about the worst TV shows you've ever seen in your life. Half of these, I feel like, have a bigger budget than some of the shows you see on TV now. What you're seeing, these would have won all the VMAs. They're better than 90s music videos.
Yeah. This is a big comeback for choreographers since the death of music videos.
This RushTok, I'm talking about, you go look this up. The popular schools always seem to be like Alabama.
Alabama's big.
I see a bunch of Florida State, Arizona State. Basically, all the places that I wish I went, they shove down my throat. Some miserable guy out there knows that the places that I wanted to go and just shoves them to reverse screw me because that's where I wanted to go. I never see RushTok in Boston. I don't see a bunch of girls in North Face jackets and freckles doing high kicks
Timberlands
outside.
Out there in the freaking snow.
I don't see a bunch of those RushTok, but I'm seeing a lot of Gators, a lot of Seminoles, and a bunch of other places that I probably would have rather been. And these things are extravagant. it's like who did this? Who paid for that?
Somebody's dad paid for something.
Somebody's
big
paying
time.
for something, because there's another scam of the week, and that is you have people who capitalize on all these things that pop up and become popular all of a sudden, and it's the RushTok choreographers who apparently get paid over $4,000 a pop to come in and just tell people to like bring it on, like you had mentioned that, like the movie Bring It On, bring in some guy, some bum who probably taught at some weird obscure school and then just inflated his credentials to talk about some sort of whatever, got these girls to hire, and it's just a full scam profession. You can convince these sorority girls to do anything, because you see these videos, there's hundreds of sorority girls. I don't know how they're shoving themselves in that house, but they're all chipping in. They got these sorority dues. I don't know exactly how it works, but if you've seen that Arizona State squad and the FSU squad, they can have a fundraiser for anything. I'm showing up at those chocolate bars, the one with the crown that I told you.
Chocolate bars?
World's famous chocolate bars.
Oh, I love those things.
I've always said I don't know how they're not in every shelf. They're only out for these fundraisers. You know what their fundraiser should be? Just being on the shelves. They'll sell out every single time.
They do new ones now.
You put those hot girls selling world's famous chocolate. People will just show up. Look at the hot girls' inboxes look at their DMs.
Yeah.
Every freak under the sun. Maybe that's who's probably funding it. The feet pics of Florida State are funding all these choreographers.
Phi Beta Kappa's got the best feet pick.
Choreographers. I had a huge year this past year. My God, all those Patreon subscribers were really big for me. I had to scrape my way that this guy comes in. Here's a kick. You. 4,000. Thank you very much.
You up front. The rest of you get way in the back, and you especially. You know.
And how about this? I really want to know. I always want to know the untold side of things. Always when I watch things, I want to know how it really went down, and I want to know the hierarchy in these sororities. I want to know who got drafted up front. Who's the Christian McCaffrey, the Austin Ekeler, the Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson? How did they get drafted there? Are they on the dance team? So it's natural.
They might as well. I never realized how many people are like professional backup dancers. Apparently,
that's the crazy thing to me. I just said
you
today,
got J-Lo's backup squad coming to show Alabama how to do it.
1988, you're at the bar, you're doing the simplest dance.
Your thumbs are out and your arms and legs are moving the same speed.
You're doing the thumbs, you're doing the Pee Wee Herman, R.I.P., the tequila. He's putting his hands in the front, in the back, in the front, in the back, and it's a world famous dance.
If you get somebody who's a TikToker to do that dance now, because none of these other people who are on TikTok know who Pee Wee Herman is, and you get them to do the Pee Wee Herman dance, it'll be the next big thing.
You think so?
I think so. You get the right person to do it, Pee Wee Herman's dance will come back as somebody's news dance.
Because these dances, I really saw a video in the last couple months. Somebody was calling, a regular TikToker was calling Justin Timberlake an awful dancer.
Jesus.
He used to be considered the best. So, yeah, I think the scale has shifted and skewed. I just didn't know that they all had this ability. I don't know if it's nature, nurture. Did TikTok turn everyone into dancers? Is this 5 years of the D'Amelios coming into fruition here, and now everyone has just learned how to dance? Is that how long it takes? I don't know, but this is just what are the guys doing?
What do you do when you go out to a bar? Are you just doing TikTok dances now? Is that?
That is interesting.
Is that we would grind,
I don't think so. What I know about girls, the way they're so meticulous about their social media and everything, I imagine those things really are I think everyone is in line, in check, and does their. I think that sorority thing, man, that is the female version of the Marines. You better get in check
I'd like
or you're
to see
out.
the screaming when Becky screws up doing one of these dance moves and they got to redo it for the fourth time.
Way more passive aggressive. People like me and you would be like, you scumbag. Yeah. We have to do this whole thing again?
And they'll cut Becky's hair off in her sleep or something.
They'll do something. They'll do something. It's going to be even more cerebral. They're going to include stories of every single girl in the sorority and just skip over. It's going to be something. It's very ticking time bomb in the back of the brain type of array. They're very, very tricky on that front. So I never had that experience, unfortunately, but now you guys are probably seeing a whole bunch of that now on TikTok.
Yeah, thanks. Now my feed is every college, every sorority.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Know, it is.
I don't want to see these people dancing all day.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so well. If you don't want to see them, you can see the things that you sent me. We told you about the dad joke guy. Do you want to know what Papa Giorgio sends me?
We send very different things.
What you sent me yesterday, I'm like, is this a joke? I'm going to explain it in layman's terms. I believe it's an Instagram account of inmates from an Idaho penitentiary.
Yes.
Where they get to publicly
yes. Hey, I'm into guys and girls. Hit me up.
So it is a more or less a one-way online dating reach out to the public. Hey, I'm in jail and so-and-so.
I saw a guy 225, 5'10", in here for 5 years.
There is an Instagram account where they're publicly putting themselves out there to people who are interested and are willing to look past whatever crimes they may currently be in jail for. Now, if there's anything the site Mugshoties taught me, where they post pictures of females, headshots for hot girls, no crime stopping a guy. I bet I would love to see the comment disparity on the guy's uploads versus the girl uploads. And man, do you really want to be with that girl who's just fully okay putting a jail selfie video explaining how she's willing to, talk to whoever it may be out there? And then when you get released from jail, do they archive that video or does that stay up on there? What a wild concept. There is a jail Instagram page where they allow the inmates to make videos and post them there.
Bumble for inmates.
So if I was in jail, it means I get a time to go in there. Hey, what's up? I'm in Andy. I got wrongly accused. Don't listen to what they tell you. But if you want to talk, I got a lot of fun things to say. Don't ever go to hotels in Malibu. And you get to upload a full minute's worth.
You may get a pen pal.
That's what it's called, pen.
Something like that.
Oh, my God.
Might get some good material if you you might get good material. Get a pen pal.
I would love to know the percentage of relationships and budding romances that end up working out in the end. I imagine the percentages are similar to The Bachelor, which is at a grand total of all these years of the show, 0%. I mean, what?
Did you see the new one?
I've never watched The Bachelor once in my life.
I don't ever watch it.
It's fine if you do. It's just, it's not been my thing.
I've never watched it, but I saw the preview for a new one. It's the Golden Bachelor. It's an older guy, and it's going to be older women. I don't know. I don't remember how old this guy is, but golden.
Who wants to? Oh, is that because the Bachelor audience is starting to age, and now they're putting the contestants alongside them?
Oh, it's so cute.
Are you noticing that a lot of the romantic comedies are still featuring Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel? Are you noticing that the romantic comedies are not of a young guy and girl anymore? It's of those same people who are older. And the thought is the people who are actually watching those movies are that demographic still. If you were to put two young people in a romantic comedy, an Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis from 20 years ago, nobody would go see it because that's just not what it's like anymore.
Everybody is 65 and up for Golden Bachelor.
Nobody's watching that. That's
65
disgusting.
And up.
There's a certain age. I don't want to know that people.
Well, I think you have an older demographic who's sitting home. Oh, look, they all went on the show. They found somebody.
I don't want to know that older people are romantic like that. I think you should just retire. You should just retire. It is.
They are, definitely. The Villages down in Florida. Have you heard about that place?
You're just telling me no, I'm not telling you to crawl in a hole. Be an amazing golfer, come up with cool pizzas and stuff like that. But just like, oh yeah, let me go out. I'm gonna plow that. You're an old man. I've always, one time, my mom asked me. She lives in a big retirement community, and she asked me to perform stand up at the theater.
No.
And this is not like it's borderline like 1,000 people. And then at first I was like, come on, I'm not gonna do that. And then I was looking at the theater. I'm like, all right, maybe. And I started thinking of things that I would say. And I actually came up with a couple things right away. And one of the first things I was going to say was, wow, this is the first room ever in my life where I can definitively say every single woman would rather be with me than the guy she's with tonight. Every single guy. This feels so good. I'm better than every man in here. It's true. And then I was going to say, guys, I want to ask you.
You would have got a lot of old booze.
Oh, yeah. Old booze.
Shut up, Shani. You shut your mouth.
What do you think? They're Biff from Back to the Future? Old with the cane? He can't even have a car. Another thing I was going to say is, guys, I was going to open up with, if you think I'm one of these comedians who's going to come out here and just talk about sex, I'm not going to do that. Especially since none of you have probably had that in a good 2 years. It was something along those lines about infrequent.
Dude, they say those places
I know. And then the third thing I was going to say.
Oh, you got 3.
This was it was in one day of thinking. And these were just the early stages of the joke in its infancy. I was going to say something along the lines of like, when you're doing whatever the hell it is that you do you feel like you're Michael Jordan on the Wizards? Like, do you remember what it was like? Were you like, oh, I would have really gave it to you in '89?
Oh,
like,
my God.
Do you compare? If I go play hockey right now and kids are skating circles around me, your thought is like, I could have. Is it that way with sex too? Do you judge your performance?
It depends how you are. I mean, maybe you're great. Maybe you're still good.
You
good
sound
to go.
like what they would say. There's no way.
I don't know.
When we were young, last week, did I tell the Six Flags story?
Didn't Pacino isn't he having a kid? He just got somebody pregnant.
They still haven't confirmed it.
These old guys are still doing it. They may be doing it disgusting.
I know they can. I know it's physically possible. Do you remember? Did I tell the story about Six Flags? Did we talk about that running to the ride when the park opened?
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, we were in high school. We went to Six Flags. Mm-hmm. We ran to the ride when it opened, and every single one of us got to that first car. You want to know why? Because all of us played sports. We played baseball, track, football, lacrosse. We were in shape, younger guys doing a full park's worth sprint to that damn thing, and we all made it. You imagine right now? Do you imagine right now? It's the same thing with sex. You're not making it to that coaster. You're just not.
I don't know. I don't want to think of it that way. I hope when I'm that old that I'm still,
if you were
good to go.
If you were 68, and I know this sounds gross, but like
68's not that old.
No. If a 24-year-old says, "Come rock my world," are you going to feel confident that
you're going to rock her world for about 5 seconds? She better be ready. Well, 68 years old.
Well, you're going to meet somebody from one of those RushTok videos, and then she'll be on The Bachelor Senior Citizen Edition, and you'll end up meeting that way.
The Golden Bachelor.
When I was out there, Malibu and Hollywood Hills, I don't know if it's like this in upstate New York. You don't get a bar of service anywhere. You never have service on your phone.
It's not that great. I was just upstate last week. It's not that great.
And it's an interesting thing that, have you ever been to like an event like a Belmont or a festival or a concert? Your service doesn't work on your phone because there's so much network. People are all trying to use it at the same time.
Sure.
And I was just thinking, in a simple way, isn't that the worst possible thing to happen for phones? During any emergency, everybody's going to need to use their phone. And that's the one time you can't use it.
It's like New Year's. You can't use your phone on New Year's.
Yeah. Now imagine there's a catastrophe. Imagine there's a knock on wood, Pearl Harbor.
Jeez.
And everyone's like, are you all right? Nobody's phone's going to work. And no one ever talks about this, too. What if there's an emergency? What's going to do?
What you going to do? What you going to do? Everybody's going to take their phone out, and they're going to open up the video player, and they're going to record everything that they're watching.
Yeah, but how do you contact people?
We're screwed.
Something everyone's going to learn what it's like to be in Malibu. Man, there was. You
still got a landline in the house?
It's very. Oh, you know what fee that would be added to the room? You want the landline?
I know my parents still got a landline.
I forced my mom to cancel the landline. We don't do landline. However, there's a part of me that
2026. You better have one. I'll be calling you from my parents' landline when this chaos happens.
And lastly, before how deep are we into this?
46.
Wow. The last thing I'm going to say is because I told you I had back to school summer scams, and that is Malibu's not a go out type of place. You go to restaurants, you do things like that. And we went to the world famous Nobu. You look up, where should I go? Nobu. And this is like where Livy, the infamous Livy, met Joe Burrow. This is where Joe Burrow's eating. You think it's cheap? But remember, infrequent vacationer. All right, we'll make an exception. Now, I believe I told you guys about the steakhouse table isn't ready scam, where steakhouses, inherently are expensive and deservedly so. I love good steaks. Do you?
You know me.
Now, Nobu, for what it's worth, is mostly known for seafood, but also fantastic steaks. So they're obviously going to say your table isn't, every steakhouse, expensive, your table isn't ready. Oh, your table's been ready for 15 minutes. But why do they tell you it's not ready? Because then they go, why don't you have a seat at the bar? We'll let you know when it's ready.
Have a couple of drinks.
Yeah, have a few drinks. You're a restaurant guy. How does a restaurant, what is the highest markup? How does it make the easiest money?
Booze. Drink
alcohol.
It up.
$38 a drink for whatever their specialty cocktail. They're hoping that's a full dinner right there. If you're with someone and you guys have 2 rounds, that's a dinner. They're already laughing at you. So this is my anti-scam of the week.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that was.
So this was all a scam, huh?
This is where they're going to draw their sword. I'm going to draw them, and we're going to clash in the middle like Jaime Lannister and Ned Stark, and we're staring at each other. And then, yes, someone is going to come and stab me in the back of the thigh like they did to Ned, but at least I didn't lose the battle. And that is the late steakhouse reservation. Anti-scam, where you choose a reservation, preferably 45 minutes to an hour before the place not closes, but that's the last within the last hour window of reservations, because they know if they set you off for 30 minutes, that means their shift potentially ends 30 minutes later. So then they are going to have your table ready right away.
Get them in, get them out.
And yeah, if you're one of those slow eaters, if you're from Europe, if you're a European listening right now, and you're one of those people who inexplicably takes 45 minutes per course, do not know what the hell that's about, then maybe this isn't going to work for you. But if you're someone like me who eats relatively quickly, as
just get him
Papa
a shovel,
Giorgio pointed out when giving me dating advice as teenagers, I wouldn't have had to worry about that if I was a teenager on a surfboard over in Malibu. But that was another thing, by the way.
You wouldn't have chicken parm all over your face.
While I was there, I saw the chopsticks on the table, and I just wish I liked sushi, because chopsticks are another potential way to slow me down.
Yeah. Especially if you can't use them.
Yeah, I don't know who teaches people chopstick. I got lucky. The way I configure it
love
works.
How you move your hand around like you're actually.
This is what we do.
That does not look like chopsticks at all. Oh boy.
You just gotta go. I go alien fingers, the big 3.
Oh god.
Interestingly enough, they didn't give us utensils like that, and they would, when they brought out courses, they would say like chopsticks, like you this one with the chopsticks. This one, don't fucking tell me.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't tell me my utensil, pal.
Like I think we got some dumplings that like this one's with your hands. I go, I was eating it with my hands.
Don't
regardless.
you tell me how to eat.
All right, I'm disgusting. You don't have to tell me.
They said that to you?
That I'm disgusting?
No. I would say that to you if I was there. They said to you, this one you eat with chopsticks.
I swear
this
to
one
you,
you eat with your hands.
Each thing that they brought out, they mentioned what to eat it with.
Interesting. I think that might annoy me, and I would just eat everything with my hands.
Yeah, that's the funny
or
thing.
No
I don't know
hands.
if it's just us or most people.
Just no hands. I'll eat it with my face. I'll put my head down to the plate.
Yeah, but all in all, it was a nicely timed trip because we're right here now. And like I said, I brought the next 10 days. We have high of like 78, 80, low of 65. And we're taking that right into Labor Day weekend, right into fall, right into sports. I got more stuff coming out. And I'm looking forward to it. We're through it, man.
Football. Are you ready for some football?
We can literally start arguing about week 1 stuff. Like, oh, come on, they're not going to do. Like, for example, I'm telling people not to bet on the Eagles against the Patriots. And I'm telling people not to bet on the Bengals against the Browns. And yes, I understand. What do you mean they're the best 2 teams? Bad situation. You think I don't know? You think
week
he doesn't
one is
know?
Sloppy.
You think we don't know that the Eagles 4-point favorites against the Patriots doesn't sound good? It sounds too good. And that's exactly why you should never bet it. It's not hockey out there. The Avalanche can't just mow everyone down. There's a lot of rats. And on that note, we will be back with you next week. You know, we had more stuff to talk about. Next week, we're going to get to the ick list, or just what gives girls the ick. It's a great trend. I like this trend.
You like it?
This is a trend.
Because
Well,
I've seen some mix that I'm not sure you'd be too happy they have.
I already told you men hate women and women hate men because of the content. Now I'm just enjoying the roller coaster because this one, it chronicles via notes. I don't know if you can pass it off to other people because I've seen one person have the same note things and then somebody else is adding to it. So these videos are coming out where girls are being interviewed, things that I guess we're going to wait till next week to talk about this, but it's the ick list. Okay? Thank you guys for coming back. Once again, I was on vacation last week. Sorry I didn't get an episode out to you. I was contemplating like doing it in the hotel room, but they would have charged me for that. Oh, you record a podcast? It's a
recording fee.
Recording fee with your own equipment. So we will be back with you guys next week. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching. If you listened and you wanted to see any of these things I'm talking about, you know I pop those in the YouTube videos. So go over to YouTube, check those out. Come back next week. Tell a friend about the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Everything that you can do to help kick it up the algorithms. And I'll be back with you next week. Anything you want to say to these freaks?
Never.
All right, everyone. Be back next week. Take it easy. Have a good one and enjoy the fresh weather.